segment, Take Back Sports Show, delivered to you by the Big Game Christian Sports Network, or exclusively presented on the Big Game Christian Sports Network, and powered by, of course, the Shake Back Media Group. It is on once again. Dwayne is in the building. Donnie is on the road, and Willie is here. What's going on, buddy?
All is well, my boy. All is well.
And guess what I just figured out real quick? We were talking off air about how Twitter has been tripping with going live, and I just figured it out just like that. Just like that. To God be the glory, because I don't have the sense nor the patience to figure that stuff out. And I just happened to look down at my phone and it said, Willie Epstein Jr. is live. And I'm like, I am live. Not only am I live, I am alive. Anyway, back here, back for the second segment. Here we go. Just in case you missed it in the first, man, the NFL and George Pickens and all of that other good stuff that's going on there. AR5 has requested a trade and been granted permission by the Colts. I don't think Dwayne doesn't really care that much, but it's all gravy. Thank you guys for out there for checking us out. Facebook, my page, the network's page, the media group's page, Dwayne's page, also YouTube for the network, as well as the Shake Back Media Group, LinkedIn, and of course, Twitter. I'm finally back, man, on Twitter. You know what? When you're away from social media for a while, like I was, man, it messes up your whole algorithm. And it does not matter if you have 5 followers or 500,000 followers. If you're not on, you're not going to get no engagement. So I've been trying to work hard and get back into doing that, man. It's crazy.
That's true, man. That's true. I learned that the hard way about some stuff, man. So
all right. Second segment being brought to you by Lake Crest Casino and Hotel. Look, I don't know about you, Dwayne, but I could use a break from time to time, and what better way to spend it than at Lake Crest Casino and Hotel. Lake Crest Casino and Hotel is the ideal weekend getaway to unwind, explore, and enjoy. Located just 5 minutes from Lake Murray at exit 29 off the 35 freeway in Ardmore, Oklahoma, with 89 hotel rooms, 20 full hookup RV park sites, boutique shopping at the Oasis. You can dine at the Lakeside Grill or grab a coffee and quick bites from Winning Picks Coffee and more. Or check out their full service bar. Plus, they offer over 1,000 of the newest, most popular electronic games with 8 table games, giving players nonstop action experience. Whether you're into fast-paced games or classic table favorites, Lake Crest Casino has you covered. So why wait? Plan your getaway today and book your stay at lakecrestcasino.com. Again, that is lakecrestcasino.com. All right. So at the end of the first segment, we were talking about George Pickens and whether or not he's going to make business decisions, as he has now been placed under the tag. And we encourage you guys out there that's watching, please drop your comments, like, share, subscribe on all the platforms that you see before you. That would be much appreciated. Look, support is free. We ain't asking for no money. We just want y'all support, and that helps. But anyway, back to George Pickens. Speaking of business decisions, back to George Pickens and his business decisions. Here's something else too that I think I noticed, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm correct on all of it. But when we watch the Dallas Cowboys play, right, and you see CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on the field at the same time, is it me, or do you see CeeDee Lamb lining up outside at the X, at the Y, sometimes in the slot, at the Z? He does that way more than George Pickens does, and which in my mind makes me believe that he is way more number one receiver than George is. And George may have been a beneficiary of a lot of one-on-one coverage because of what happens on the other side of the field, or with CeeDee Lamb in the slot. Your thoughts?
You are absolutely correct. And let me just say this. I watched probably more Dallas Cowboy football this season than I ever have before, really, because I don't care for the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. However, I had a classmate of mine. Shout out my boy, Black Jesus, Josh Chapman. But he's apparently a Cowboys fan, and he really was going ham on Dak Prescott. And my thing to him was simply, sir, Dak is playing the best football of his career. How in the world? How dare you open your mouth as a person who hasn't seen the Super Bowl since your childhood? You a 40-plus-year-old man now. How dare you open your mouth and complain about Dak Prescott? So in watching the Cowboys this season, you are absolutely correct. CeeDee Lamb is doing everything that is required of him as a number one. He lines up all over the field in all the different positions. He does everything that's being asked of him. When it comes to run blocking, when it comes to blocking the downfield blocking, when he's going to have to face the double teams, triple teams, whatever. He doesn't complain about anything. He's not, goofing off. He's a consummate professional on that field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
George Pickens beats his man's one-on-one, but when he's not getting the ball, there isn't much left to George Pickens in the game. You sometimes he might block, sometimes he might, he probably won't. If he's not getting the ball, he doesn't seem as enthused about being on the field. And really, when it comes to moving around, he kind of gives the plays away because his body language shows I'm not getting the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here's one final quick thought on that whole George Pickens thing. Obviously, the numbers were terrific. Obviously, he is one of those generational type of wide receivers, big, strong, great hands, can catch, can beat you in the 50-50 balls, runs good routes. But with all that being said, the Cowboys obviously know something that we don't in terms of why they're not giving him this long-term deal at this moment. And it could be a couple different things, of course, to like stall out to get the best deal that's for the Cowboys while George attempts to get the best deal for himself. Remember him and him and Micah Parsons have the same agent. And Pickens was on Micah Parsons' podcast during Super Bowl week, and they were talking about that kind of stuff. But the Cowboys obviously have some concerns. Otherwise, they would do what they did with CeeDee Lamb and even, I don't know, throw another player out there, Deron Blandford to a degree, maybe even Trevon Diggs to a degree as well. All right. So we got this new segment, and we're gonna call this the Shake Back movie review. And look at Dwayne's face. We calling this the Shake Back movie review. And I saw this on Twitter, and if I can remember the person that posted it, I would certainly shout you out. My bad for that. You know who you are if you're watching, and ultimately would be listening. But it got me to thinking, Dwayne, and you and I and Donnie are a little bit of some movie connoisseurs, especially when it comes to movies that star people that look like us, sound like us, talk like us, whatever the case may be. So I got 4 movies, Dwayne, that you have to eliminate for life. And if you get caught even watching the credits of either one of these movies, you will be doing life in prison, and based on another movie that is called Life, starring Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence and so many others, the late great Bernie Mac. Give me that Bernie Mac, Dwayne.
You think I'm scared of you, don't you? I ain't scared of you.
All right. So the movies are as follows. And audience participation is welcome and encouraged on this one because this is about to be fun. All right. So we're gonna say which one of the following movies would you never watch again?
I'm not playing.
Juice, starring Omar Epps and Tupac Shakur, the late great Tupac Shakur. Above the Rim, starring Marlon Wayans and I forgot the kid that played in the Wood Harris. And of course Tupac Shakur and Dwayne. What was Dwayne's last name? He was married to Tisha Campbell.
Oh, Dwayne Martin.
Boys in the Hood, of course, starring Ice Cube. Y'all might know him as Ice Cube. I'm gonna call him O'Shea Jackson Sr. And then Menace to Society with MC8, Lorenz Tate, and of course Tyron Turner. So Dwayne, the clock is ticking, brother. Which one of these movies are you eliminating forever?
I ain't gonna even lie to you, my boy. I don't really want to play.
No, you got no. This is not the nation. This is not the nation's capital.
No. Here's the thing. I will play.
Okay.
I'm just letting it be known. That's my. I don't really want to play. These are all staples, in the black community, in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
However, of the four, I probably will go with Menace to Society. Everything about that movie was toxic.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because what I was going to say about all four of these movies, somebody died at the end. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. At Juice, it was Tupac. Above the Rim, it was Tupac. Boys in the Hood, it was Ice Cube and Ricky. Menace to Society, it was Kane. Somebody died at the end of every single one of these movies. But this is what I'll say about all four of these movies, because this is no slight on any one of these four movies. I mean, our generation can quote lines from either one of these movies from now until they decide to make a sequel. Menace 3 Society, how about that? Boys in the Hood, Deuce. How about Above the Rim, Above the Backboard? How about that? How about Juice? Those would be the sequel names if I had anything to do with it. But we can quote these movies just like that. What I love most about each one of these movies is that they're all gritty in their own way. Above the Rim was talking about basketball. Juice was talking about the entertainment and the music industry and what it takes to get into that. Boys in the Hood talks about crime and violence and drug dealing in Los Angeles, but it was gang affiliated. Menace to Society was the same thing as Boys in the Hood, but it was not any sort of gang affiliation. So for me, I like the fact that there was no gang affiliation in Menace to Society, and it was just hood versus hood. And excuse me, there's a song by the late great Seagram. He was an MC from Oakland, California, and he has this song called Old School, right? And in the song, he talks about how Oakland shifted from having only like 12 gangs to a whole bunch of other gangs. But then he also talked about how ain't no Crips and Bloods in Oakland. And that's that. I guess for me, Menace to Society is it's on that same level with the city of Oakland in that respect. Okay, so I had an honorable mention that I want to throw in here, and it's gonna be not including these movies, but it's just from the franchise. Friday 1, Friday 2, Friday 3. Which one are you not ever watching again?
How dare you? How? Okay, if I'm keeping it a buck, Friday 3.
Yeah,
I could do without Damon.
Yeah,
I could do it. It was probably the most unnecessary character in the entire franchise. Now, him and Cat Williams had a nice little standoff that was extremely funny, but Cat Williams just kind of does that, pretty much with anybody who's on the screen with him. But I said I don't really want to see this big muscle-bound Joker running around in his drawers and trying to take advantage of small men. I'm good. I don't need to see this. Hold on, player. Back up, working with a monster. Hold on.
What did they say? What did they say to
you like it, your sons?
See, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we are who we are, because he can finish my sentences, I can finish his, Donnie can finish mine, I can finish Donnie's, Dwayne can finish Donnie's, and that's just the methodology that is a word that I cannot use on the air. All right, we got 4 minutes left to go in the segment. Real quick, man, let's get to some NBA. The Lakers are both of our teams, but the Lakers are looking like the lake is drying up out there in Los Angeles. I have a question for you, man. Has JJ Redick lost control of this team?
He never had it.
Speak on it. Rest of the segment.
He never had it. As long as LBJ is in LA, That's the one who has the chokehold on the entire franchise. Now, I know they're trying to do their best to strip him of power. Lucas is in charge now, and it's his team, and this and that. But let's be honest with you. The whole reason they hired J.J. Redick, because of LeBron. And if LeBron isn't feeling the way things are going, you as the coach don't matter. He's done that with everybody he's ever worked with.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why he's never had a Phil Jackson or whatever. Because they always say, "What if you gave LeBron a Phil Jackson?" He doesn't work well with others in charge. LeBron has to be in charge. I actually heard Iman Shumpert confess that during their playoff runs back in Cleveland, or how he was basically ignoring T. Lue. He was basically saying, yeah, T. Lue had implemented this, and that. And he was like, look, we're playing certain teams. My body got to make it through it, and I'm not going to do it this. He changed the entire landscape of the playbooks in the plays that they were running, simply because that's what LeBron wanted to do for him, not the team. That's what was best for him. So, yeah.
And I believe, and I don't care whose toes I step on right now for the generation that has come behind us. I don't care whose toes I step on. All LeBron James is doing is giving us more and more evidence as to why he will not and never be the greatest of all time. All he is continuing to do by doing these acts and speaking out the way that he does, and seemingly needs to be the one in charge. That is the reason why he would never go over Jordan. As a matter of fact, I'm probably gonna get some more hate, because I've had to redo my greatest I've ever seen list a couple of different times because of the antics of one LeBron James. Number 1, Michael Jordan. Number 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 3, Kobe Bryant. Number 4, LeBron James. At me, at SHKBKMEDIAGRP on Twitter, and we can battle it out. And if you want to come on the show and talk about it, tell him Dwayne in the Bernie Mac voice.
I want to use a different voice for it. But you come up here if you want to. You step up here, you don't get knocked down. He was jumping on my couch, so I smacked him with a hammer.
Boy, see, y'all don't know. You never know what's gonna happen with the Shake Back Media Group, man. We talk about movies, we impersonate great and comedians that have passed on, and we really ruffle people's feathers and try to make people look at themselves in terms of these debates that really they don't even have any business debating, because they never saw Michael Jordan play live or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar play live or what have you. All right, Dwayne, that's gonna wrap it up for the second segment, brother. Come on back inside the break. We're going to get to some hockey and a little bit more NFL. So don't touch that dial. Willie Epstein Jr., Shake Back Sports Show. Y'all come back and holler at us.